GameWard certainly have done a little bit of that here and there throughout the regular season as well, but so far so good. We got the Yuumi ban coming into play as well as the Zeri.
Yeah, I like the Yuumi ban especially just because of the fact that even though I'm not really big on Nocturne right now, Nocturne Yuumi, Udyr Yuumi, things like that, those combinations, Olaf Yuumi, God forbid.
Yeah.
You just want to make sure that no wild cards like that are thrown your way, and it's really easy. You just take away the cat, and things are done and dusted. And as for the rest of the bans here, LeBlanc, we're seeing this one banned a lot now, especially because of just how good she is at dueling, shelving, roaming, having these plays, and impacting team fights unlike other mids, because, you know, Assassin, over walls, if you're on the same screen as the AD carry, and it's like, oh, snap.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be scary at times, but Thresh, LeBlanc, last two bans here for GameWard. We'll get a Xin Zhao ban as well as a Gangplank ban here on the other side. And now we're just going through the champions here for GameWard, flexing what could potentially come out. Don't imagine that'll be the case. No. And yeah, we'll get the Inax right on the Jinx. Yeah,
I mean, I haven't seen the Xerath from Checolad. It would definitely be a spicy one for the last game of the regular split here. But of course, Jinx still highest priority right now. She's receiving some nerfs as well as Aphelios and Zeri on the back half of 12.5. But until then, it's going to be 1-for-1 here. You're seeing the Tahm Kench come through. I love that grab. It's so good blind for the most part here. But blinding it against Chameleus, that's dangerous because we've seen him bring out the, oh no, it's Ghost Cleanse. They're not going to do it. They're memeing. I thought it was real for a second. I was like, what?
Nunu would be fun.
Nunu would be so fun. Please do it. Akabane, my boy. Come on. Ganking jungler. It'll work. You're going to beat them anyway.
I'm letting you have this.
He has Ghost Cleanse, so I know it's a troll.
It's a real Nunu in my game. Oh my goodness.
Hey, man, come on. I don't do that.
You're right. I wasn't throwing you under the bus.
Okay, all right.
It's my other Nunus that I've seen here and there over the years.
I've only heard stories. I've never seen
That's good. You do not want to see it.
Fair enough. But I'm surprised we're seeing the Rakan early on. I mean, I think it's fine overall. Like, you would still have a lot of CC potential, a lot of hard engage. But we saw Chameleus bring out the Rel earlier on to pair with the Jinx into the Tahm Kench, and it ends up working really well. It's a good matchup, but this time around, they're not interested in playing it here.
It does feel like Viego's, fell off a little bit here, at least as a priority for a lot of the junglers in the league. When we go back to the start, it was really all about the big three. The Lee Sin, the Xin Zhao, and the Viego, as maybe our draft had crashed here for us, but we'll get back into that very, very soon. But, what we do know is the fact that if this Viego can get going, he's so good in those skirmishes in the early parts of the game, and even team fights, if you're able to just get that very first passive mark, you get in there and you start doing a ridiculous amount of damage. You get the reset on the Heartbreaker, and you can really turn around fights on a dime.
So the thing with Viego, too, is that I think the reason he's fallen out of priority for most teams, except for unless you're playing against LDLC, people just keep banning it from him, is that you lose out on a lot of early game power versus something like Lee Sin, Xin Zhao, Trundle, etc. So it's, even though you do have gank potential, you do have some CC in the kit, even though it's pretty low damage early on, you do play for that scaling game here. And I mean, if you sync up with this Rakan, there is still plenty of early skirmishing that you can look for to make happen. The thing now, though, is getting yourself a strong mid laner for that exact thing. Because right now, when it comes to scaling damage into the late game, you have the Jinx, that's fine. But also, with the Corki ban being off the table there taken by Mirage, we could see something like the Syndra ban come through, because I think that's something what they should be taking on 4, just because, one, Syndra Lee Sin, great mid-jungle duo. We talk about how important that is and how strong of a combination that can be, and how much impact you can have in that early mid-game as a result.
Sure, absolutely. Phase 2 bans already in here for us. Mirage, they remove Azir, they remove Corki. A lot of bans thrown over to Checolad and his pool. On the other side, Aurelia and Nars. So throwing some bans over to Bad Lulu, which I think is certainly a good choice at times. We know the impact he can have individually without any help here from Memento.
For sure. And Rungjun also is going to be getting the Rise. So it is going to be that Rise Lee Sin combo. It is another good champion, really good with the wave clear. Ari's still up. Syndra's still up for Checolad. He does lean more towards scaling. That's why you see the Corki ban and Azir there by Mirage. But still, Victor is up. He ran that one yesterday, but I really do like the Syndra pick, so I'm glad that one is getting locked in.
Yeah, it's actually really good. It might even force the cleanse to come through here for Cody-san potentially as well, right? There's a lot you're going to have to touch out on the charm. I mean, the Scatter of the Week now, and now we'll see what comes in last, and we will get Melanik here on the Graves, and Bad Lulu. I think think he played a few games a little earlier on in the split.
They did win. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't really because of him. Yeah, exactly. But it would be exciting to see that one come through. Look, Mirage, nothing to lose. Try some stuff out.
Like
Camille is honestly a lot better because you have that ability to make side lane plays, especially.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. GameWard, a must win if they want to see playoffs, have a shot at being able to make the three-way tie. Mirage here on the other side, they're just looking to stop all of that from happening. They just want to make sure that Gamers Origin, more or less, just have the go-ahead, get the green light, go right through, and a chance to be able to get one last win here on the board. Ending off on the right note, I feel like, is always really good for the team atmosphere coming into the next split.
Sure.
And it's just a matter of actually executing and pulling it off.
Right, one last hurrah for, both of these teams, realistically. Even if GameWard win, all they're really doing is giving that opportunity for Gamers Origin to potential, or rather for Solary. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hold that thought because I'm going to look at the standings once again for how that tiebreaker might actually shape up. I know if it's a three-way tie, it will be Solary who win. But what if Solary lose today? That's what I'm thinking. Could I potentially be right and GameWard can somehow sneak through? Is this copium? That's the question.
A lot of copium.
That's a lot of copium, man. Let me have this.
It's all yours.
Thank you.
Memento here will start top side. They will get vision on that. The same thing happening, though, for Mirage. They get the ward on the red. So
God, it is a Graves.
Know exactly where. Okay. All right, so it's all kinds of shenanigans going on here with the draft, with the 2v2 in the bot lane. Cody Sunraxo, they're able to actually force it the flash early from Inax. He's already getting poked out.
Yeah, I mean, the Tom Kent's damage early on, the tongue lash. It's a lot going on here, and already threatening Inax is, well, it's a little unfortunate. This is kind of what you expect, though.
I had a question for you, Nate.
What's up?
Do you think this will be the first game that Memento successfully ganks top? Do you think we'll get a gank top?
No.
Why you gotta do that to me?
It's not me. Ask Memento. I don't know why.
I need you to hope with me.
Okay, hold on.
There we go. There we go.
All right.
There we go.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you got this Camille that you want to be playing for. Dude, TP Ignite. He's pathing down, but it's just the bait. He has a good enough 2v2 on the bottom side. Like, obviously, Memento is trying to make the play top side. His top laner's getting pushed in. Like, that's the angle. You get this Camille kill, brother.
Yeah, think about the setup.
Think about the setup.
Got
hook shot.
Lee Sin into the hook shot.
Oh my god.
And Graves, what does he have to escape with? A flash? Smoke screen for a slow? Run that man down.
Get him out of here. Get him out of my game, cigar and all.
Bot lane. It is Memento that is coming down to the bot side. It's a wave stacking. Remember, Inax did lose his flash in the 1v1 trade, so the dive. Here we go. Raxo right to the middle. TP's going to come through. Memento a little bit deep. Has to flash away, so they don't really find any kind of a success with the dive, but they do manage to blow a lot of summoners.
Look, Austin, I'm just saying, if he ganked top, I don't know what happened. That's all I'm going to throw out there. And speaking of ganks, because Memento showed a bot, Aquabane gets a very easy steal onto the Krugs. He's going to leave some of the little ones there as a message, even though they disappear shortly after. And he's just going to walk away. No dive. I mean, diving Camille as the Viego Graves, it's really not it. So they're just going to let that one go. You're going to keep farming. And I mean, if you're in a situation where your laners do fine, despite the Lee Sin on Memento, you do want to farm a good amount as the Viego because your early wave clear is not great. Because of that, you are behind when it comes to being able to make plays. Against something like a Lee Sin, whose early wave clear is pretty decent. But once we get some itemization going here, get closer to that level 6, you have access to the Heartbreaker, Aquabane will be a big problem. Part of the thing I like about this Syndra pick is that because you're able to contest from mid-prio, you do make it a little harder for Memento to go for some of these invades, more aggressive plays to punish the weak early Viego.
Yeah, as much as we kind of joke about the fact Memento doesn't gank top, very well could be like a whole bad Lulu call where he's just like, don't worry about me,
That's
man.
very true.
Like I can't say I know too many top laners, same top laners that are like, hey, don't worry about ganking me top, man. I'm be on an island. I'll be fine. No top laner I've ever played with, but hey, maybe.
I mean, Ravisha said that. Whether or not it was true is a different statement.
Yeah, does he mean it? Does he really mean it?
Yeah, that's the question there. But yeah, it's very well true. We don't know how things work in terms of comms. Things could very well be like overall team decisions. I'm sure it's not Memento who Bad Lulu stole his girlfriend or something, and he's like, yeah, okay, buddy. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, a turret time, you say?
Oh,
my grump's looking pretty good right now.
Looking nice and juicy.
Oh, nothing really happening at the moment. A little bit of pressure being thrown to the mid lane here. as we go through the slideshow. And Raxo will try to see if he can get some vision down here. You got a couple of pink wards, one in the line brush, one in the dot brush. So things at least are looking pretty solid for keeping the safety around mid here for Rangjun. Also kind of giving him an easy roam down to the bot lane with a Realm Warp potentially here with all of the vision being cleared for himself.
Right.
He did just hit the level 6, so we'll see if they do look to try to punish this Inax, you know, who does not have the flash still.
Right, and I mean, no heal either. This is no Sum's bot. This is a jungler's dream going on right now, and that's why if he finds that angle, could look really good. But potentially, you see Raxo and Cody Sun, at least on this slide that we're on, getting a pretty big wave stacking here. So instead, they would rather hover mid, try and see if they can make the play. And I think I heard a Scatter of the Week go through.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Oh, there we go.
Here we go. We're fighting. All right.
Unleashed power's gone.
Has the flash over the wall. Memento, I think, got the kill.
Yeah, probably. Ward hop. There was no flash anyway to begin with. The thing is, does he get out of there is the question. No. Because Akaban exactly gets the Viego. You know what? With Heartbreaker being so bugged, I'm going to blame Viego for what we're happening. Yeah, he's busting the game. He's busting our stream up. This guy and his ruination this and my wife that. I'm sick of it, Austin. I'm sick of hearing about it.
Yes, and now potentially vision, scuttle grab, yes, secured. Bot lane now fighting back and forth. I think they're fighting. Yeah, we're definitely fighting. I don't know who's dying. I don't know who's dropping.
Okay, quick, take your bets.
I bet. All right, everyone made it out.
Okay,
how about that?
That's not, you looked at the next slide. I mean, for what it's worth, me being the honorable, honest one, I would have bet Cody Sun Raxo would get the kill, but nothing ended up happening. Kind of like nothing is happening right now. Oh, there we go. We got a replay going on here of the 2v2 skirmish we saw, and they put a lot of pressure onto Rangjun. But of course, even though Lee Sin is a level behind, really strong early on. So because Rangjun gets out, Memento essentially gets that 1v1 with Checolad, but that gives Akaban the 1v1 with Memento. So it's like the sort of like a rock, paper, scissors type deal.
Certainly the case here for us, as we're seeing some kills come through. A little 2v2 fighting was happening. We come back, and Bad Lulu now is getting aggressive. This is what we kind of expect on the Camille. And we'll come back to that one and see if there's a kill or what's happening. Is there summoners blown? I don't know.
Maybe.
We'll have to see. But this is what we kind of expect with the pressure for the Camille.
Before the slide goes by. Now you got to guess. Now you can't do nothing.
I don't think he's dead. He's fine. He had Flash. He's pretty close to his tower.
Yeah,
Flash.
He's
okay.
Graves, you know, the E, the smoke
Probably
screen.
just a trade.
All right, I can agree with that. Yeah, I accept that. Now, see, now there's no cheating. Now I trust your word on that and things like that. Yeah, exactly.
I like that. When we come back and he's just dead.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, I guess we're both wrong. I would actually be really surprised and be like, you know what? I'm feeling the Bad Lulu hype that you've been trying to like sell on me here. If he did that, oh my God.
I've been trying to sell it the whole season, and is a reason.
Paying you?
I mean, like I feel like the last half of the split for Bad Lulu, like hasn't nearly been as good as the first split, and I think that's just because of it's like a team thing as a whole, right? Like Mirage have gotten worse. I feel like over the last half of the split, they haven't found the wins because there was a point in time where I want to say they had a positive record, like they were 4-3 or something like that, 5-3, something like along those lines where they were actually like decent, and then they were just a downward tumble that inevitably put them at 5-12, and of course out of playoff contention. But now we'll see GameWard try to get on top of this Rift Herald. It's very low. It should have been secured there. Memento now trying to back away. Mirage on the run. Do not want to take this fight. Numbers favoring the way of GameWard, and they were able to secure the Rift Herald.
Yeah, it's a big deal. You managed to, one, you are a little behind in gold, but because you were able to secure this Herald, you're going to be able to make a big play, potentially a dive there with Checolad helping you set things up, whether it's mid, whether it's bot. Either way, you could find these angles once you see Anax go for this recall here and come back to lane, because if you get a turret, that could be basically a big injection of gold into your pockets here. They could technically go for Bad Lulu if they want to, because right now, like, we're getting to the point where Viego can actually do stuff. He has the Warhammer, he has the Sheen, level 8, feeling pretty good in these 2v2, 2v1 scenarios. Because of that, if you get a successful dive off onto Bad Lulu, because I think now you might be able to look, you can kind of set him behind, because that's what a lot of teams have been doing lately. And this is kind of going off your point about how Mirage have been struggling towards the later parts of the split. I think part of that is because teams have started to kind of understand what they're all about and do a really good job, I think, of just beating on Bad Lulu. Yesterday being the perfect example.
Yep, absolutely. Now we'll see what happens around the Dragon that has still been live. Only the Rift that went over there that could be dropped at any point in time. You can also use that to create some pressure, make a swift rotation over and try to take down the Hextech Drake. Inax coming off of his reset will now be able to come and pick up this wave here. He's been able to grab himself a new quiver as well as a pickaxe, but decent CS lead for Cody. I mean, that's kind of what happens when you leave these two 80 carries in the bot lane. Aphelios typically gets the best of Jinx in the early parts of the laning phase here, and because of it, there will be at least a slight CS lead.
Now, having a leader Dragon than we have had so far in the first 2 games. But this is pretty much on par for what was going on yesterday, Austin. You weren't here, but we're talking like 14, 15-minute first Drakes, very late games, very late souls. Mirage not really looking to do a whole lot of that here. But being able to secure that with some of that priority they got is a good thing for them. And they still have a lot of good skirmishing power, I think. They just haven't found some of these angles yet. And speaking of finding, Akabane, of course, was trying to set up something here so he can get this Rift Herald. Rangjun does have his flash back up, but he's still someone they could potentially threaten. But they've decided, okay, it's bad Lulu time, buddy.
So we will see a potential Rift Herald come down here, I feel like, for Akabane right over the wall. That's going to be the case. They'll probably come and take a couple of plates first, and then look at using Shelly to crack open the tower. So Bad Lulu has to completely concede it. You can see the assistant pings coming, and I can see it right there. Someone's got to come and help them, because if they go for 2, they'll be able to punish Bad Lulu potentially quite a bit, or at very least get the second charge. Yeah,
and right now bot lane is under threat, of course, because Memento is answering, trying to at least allow Cody Sun to grab some plates on the bottom side of the map, deny some XP, and of course, Shelly will be able to easily get a charge onto the second turret. They may very well get it with how much threat Melanik has right now and the fact that his jungler is there farming the Krug camp. But that's going to be an extra bit of gold there into GameWard's pocket, even though Cody Sun does get to respond on the bottom side. And to be fair, because of all that attention, look at the difference between him and Inax. 40 CS and a lot of turret plates.
There is a lot of gold in the pocket right now of Cody Sun, and this has been by far his best performing champion so far in LFL.
True.
I mean, when we were actually talking about Mirage being a pretty solid team, it came off the back end of the Aphelios being picked up, and Cody Sun getting a lot more comfortable, not falling behind in the 2v2s, not getting killed really early in the level 1s to level 2s here. He's been a little bit more stable on this pick, and now that he has the Gale Force, we'll see if they can try to utilize him and play around Cody Sun, who might look to start moving around the map here, and I think that will be the case. The problem, though, you do have Cody Sun on the top side, and you no longer have a tier 1 tower, which means that Raxo, he cannot leave his side.
Right, that is going to be very dangerous if he's not there with him, and you got to imagine they don't actually know just yet. Now that they've spotted Bad Lulu, you can see Melanik not actually going towards the top side just yet. I think they all want to make the move, because if they see this Camille, they know that the Aphelios Tahm Kench have rotated to the top side, and if they can punish that, take him out of the game, and at least deny some of these turret plates, because if he's part of 5 in a turret, Austin, if he gets part of a few more, it's going to be insane.
Memento is caught out. The chain CC is there, and the Heartbreaker will take down Memento. Rangjun has to flash away to safety, and GameWard will be able to find a pick.
That is a nice catch-up, and now, because of that, you can see it. Cody Sun has to back off. Raxo as well can't actually go for the turret. Instead, they're just going to recall. Because everybody, for the most part on GameWard, are playing in Fog. It's going to allow Inax to be able to easily pick up some of this farm, try to catch himself back up to Cody Sun, who has just got an incredible lead on him at the moment here. And we're going to see that probably reflect in some of these fights. Again, Aphelios versus the Jinx. We talked about it. If you can make space for the Aphelios, if you can help set him up in these team fights, he can do well, sometimes even better. And with Cody Sun's lead and with some engaged tools with the Camille, with the Tahm Kench, they do have a lot on Mirage's side to help Cody Sun succeed.
Bad Lulu putting on a lot of pressure right now to Melanik in the bot side, trying to keep him on his toes. It is a massive movement up to the top side here, but will start to be a couple of recalls, at least for the side of GameWard. It is a Rift Herald that is going to be coming up here very soon. On top of that, we have another Dragon that's going to be a minute 20. That is a Mountain Dragon, so have to imagine both teams certainly looking to try to get involved, and Melanik now will be locked down. Hextech Ultimatum will keep him trapped. Ignite is in, and Rangjun will make a very nice play with the Realm War, but Checolad, could he get one back? It is just him, and it looks like he'll have to back down as we now have a fight over the blue. Memento will smite that away. GameWard will just bully them out of the jungler, but they can't get the buff.
That's the exact side lane play we were looking to see there from Rangjun onto Bad Lulu, and yeah, we got to give Mirage credit. They're playing this early game pretty solidly so far. And the only gold, of course, most of the gold lead is there on Cody's Sun. That's exactly where you want it to be. You see Chekolad TP to that bottom side of the map. He also can't join you top side, so you could have this potential 5 versus 4, but instead they're going to have Bad Lulu push this bottom lane. And Mirage are actually going to not contest the Rift Herald there. They want to take this turret first on the top side.
Tower barely hanging on. Inax is here. Tries to clear out the wave, and looks like they're not going to commit for it. So we'll keep that tower standing. Pressure in the mid lane. Chekolad waiting, looking for a scatter of the week. It's a 4-man collapse. Rangjun tries to take the one-on-one. We'll be able to buy a tad bit of space, but Chekolad should finish off the kill, and there it is. That's a big one here for the mid laner on GameWard.
It's a much-needed gold. Rangjun didn't bother with the stopwatch just because it's probably going to have more value later on in a different skirmish. It's going to give GameWard their first Drake, as long as any funny business doesn't happen around here. And with that being said, we're just going to extend the time of when we may see a potential Dragon Soul, and it's also going to give us...
Oh, he got it!
You gotta be kidding me!
Got it! Aquabane had the smite up, and no way does he get out of this. They're gonna chase him down, and the Heartbreaker does finish off the kill. Memento forced to use the kick, but I mean, that's actually so big for Mirage.
I can't believe it. He stole it with... That's why I stopped talking. I saw the tactical sweep. I'm like, no shot, right?
I didn't think it'd do that much, honestly.
I mean, either. I thought it was going to be like, hey, thanks for the leash, buddy. Have a sick one. But it ends up being the steal. It gives Mirage that ability to, well, stack the soul a lot sooner than we were expecting. And it's definitely a bit of mental damage there over to GameWard.
All right. A little bit of damage, though. Back over to
nice
Rax. So Memento in, then right back out. Aquabane could be in a tad bit of trouble. Rangjun's going to snare him up, lock him down, and that kill will go over to Cody's Son. Big scatter of the week, make sure that there shouldn't be a follow-up, but Realm Warp is in. Mirage one more. Raxo going to eat up his mid laner as Rangjun now goes back through with some more damage. Chameleon will fall. No, he goes into the stopwatch. He'll be able to keep his life, and now Rangjun goes too far. GameWard will find the punish. Ultimately a 1v2 in the bot side as well, or rather a 1-for-2 in general, as we'll see another kill go over.
Yeah, this is great. GameWard managing to come back on every side of the map here in that play, and that's a big deal too. You see Melanic go for the solo kill. That's not even Hullbreaker Graves either. It is the Eclipse, that bit of shielding with that bit of healing, and Melanic was able to get the job done. GameWard are finding their way back. They are taking every time Mirage try and take something here, and of course we're going to see the replay.
Just smite it, man.
I think he also thought it wasn't going to do a lot of damage because he's thinking like, oh, it's Camille W, whatever.
I mean, probably, but like,
just in case, you know. I would have smited, I think, but I don't know. I'm sure you look, pro players and like semi-pro players, they have those damage calculators, you know.
Well, that one was off.
Oh, just a little bit, but I mean.
We'll see if that one comes back and bites them, because that's 2 dragons.
Imagine
now
they get soul.
I mean, at least it's just Cloud, so like you can think in the back of your mind, it's like, all right, I give him the second dragon, but they're just getting a Cloud.
Yeah, exactly. That's definitely some copium right there. We're going to see that fight coming through. Cody's Son engaging with the Moonlight Vigil is going to give the opening for them to, well, just completely blow up Aquabane here. But the reason they're able to turn it back is because you called it during the fight. Mirage, they push a little too far here. They think, oh, we can keep getting more. We want the we're going to use the Realm Warp. We're going to keep on diving. We're going to use the Devour. See, Rangjun, you're fine, buddy. No problem. Keep it going. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and kill this Recon. Well, wait a second. Wait a second.
He thought the tower, I think, was down as well, right? Or at least the wave was there. Cody's Son couldn't push it fast enough, and realizes very quickly that, oh wait, I cannot walk that direction, and will drop. So I like the idea for Mirage. They're definitely trying to make some plays happen. That one, unfortunately, just a little bit too deep, a little too aggressive, but you still have a lot of great things going for yourself. Rangjun now 2 items with the stopwatch. You have Cody's Son as 2 items, yet to die. Massive CS lead over top of Inax right now. I mean, like, that is like almost 2-3 kills worth of CS alone over top of your counterpart here. So this is looking really solid, at least for him. Now we're doing a bit of the dance before the Baron spawns. It is just all for the early vision. As we're even seeing the side lane pressure start to add up, and we'll see if Bad Lulu decides to go for this, but it does not look like he'll go for it just yet.
I mean, it might naturally go down unless Melanic is there to clean it up. Dragon is up in about 1:30, and I think that's the thing to play for. Neither team looking to force the Baron this early here at just 20 minutes. And Mirage, even though you're right, it is Cloud Soul. Not all, a very situational one, where it's at times can be quite good, at times inconsequential. But them picking this one up could still work out really well for them. So I think that's what they want to be focusing on in the coming 1 minute 10 seconds. So I want to see resets coming soon from Mirage. You have enough vision on the top side where the Baron's not going to be snuck away from you if you go for this Dragon.
Actually give the blue buff over to Inax here, help him with a little bit of the mana problems Jinx does tend to get if you're not able to proc Presence of Mind in the fight. So Checkle out on the bot side, unfortunately, will just have to suffer without it, but he will get the wave shoved in. Someone here from Mirage will have to deal with it. Melanic, though, gets caught with the hook shot. That will be the Hextech ultimatum. A lot of damage comes through, and it's the kick right into the queue. Memento finds kill number 3, and Mirage will actually trade a top tower here potentially for the Dragon, or they could move back down.
That's the thing. They have all these options there where you can see GameWard, as soon as that kill goes down, they have to move topside. Checolat has to answer this wave, and you know you don't have priority on this Drake anymore. GameWard, they're going to let this one go. They need to keep things slower, where Mirage are just constantly being aggressive, making plays, and it's good. It's a good look for them here. A lot of games where even the ones where they get these interesting drafts and they're not able to make them work, they are trying, and that's a good thing for them to be doing, especially because, again, it's not about playoffs. It's about ending off on the highest note you can, setting up for next play.
Rift Herald charges through. Tower now down to about 30% HP. Won't be finished off. But GameWard, they are here, and they do have Melanic back on the map. He invested the TP at the tier 2. So he could make his way over, but GameWard before that going to have to be a tad bit careful because Mirage, they are 5 at the moment. Rise can kind of look for a bit of a flank here, and they can look to set up a play, but first it's all about this mid push in mid. We'll see if the damage comes through. That is a lot of damage here with the ultimate. Aphelios able to get some decent chunks in, and now will they be able to kind of come back in and contest this? That's the question. This could be the 3rd Dragon over to Mirage.
It's probably going to be. I mean, realistically, Akavane not in a position to steal. He's farming the Wolves at the moment, back up on the top side, so they're going to let this go. They're going to ping the... Sounds like they're pinging the Baron. It could be... No, they're probably not going to go for it there. It's just going to be Mirage now. Seeing if they find Checolad, then it's a Baron.
Yeah, Scatter of the Week available there, so we'll have just a little bit of safety. Recall now for the mid laner. Top lane, Melanic, he's just trying to take whatever he can and see if he can get something back. We'll see a little jump there from Raxo. Trying to catch someone off guard, not going to be the case. Rangju now can start to set up a lot more pressure here on the sideline, and has the perfect build for it too. This is where you get to see the Rise really start to come online.
Yeah, and all the HP, all the extra mana. I mean, you're going to get that shield as well when you use the Rune Prism to actually root somebody. So he's a really difficult person to duel at the moment here. But it's all about pressure right now. He's not looking to fight. He's going to push this wave, and he can just walk back up to this Baron if he wants to here. Checolat, of course, can join with TP, but Rangjun doesn't actually have to commit his. If he has it, can stick with the Ghost, because, of course, he has the Unsealed Spellbook. And you can see it. A lot of pings been coming through in and around this Baron. You can tell Mirage want to try and make a play for it here. And, I mean, they have all the power to do so here. 2.5 items on Rise, 2.5 items on your Aphelios. And you can tell how aggressive and confident they're playing. All they need to do is pull the trigger, and they seem to find everything.
A little bit of poke comes through. Rooting up Akavane here just for a second as they're just trying to discover, okay, what are Mirage actually up to? Are they starting the Baron? They have vision on it here. Memento's going to be able to clear that. So now back into Fog of War. Inax is going to come out of base. He did just pick up LDR, which is going to help so much with this Rise, Camille, even this Tom Kench here. You're going to be so much more impactful in the fights as long as you're able to dish out the damage. But looks like GameWard are able to move back through, get some vision down here with the help of Camelius, even looking for a backstop. Ranju's going to punish this, though. Camelius actually needs to be careful. Oh, there's the follow-up. A little bit delayed.
Nice
Memento has to flash over the wall and then safeguards away. That was a lot of CC. Memento, though, no longer having the flash.
Yeah, but he does get to walk away. I think that's the big thing here. You get the quickness out of Camelius, you force him to recall, so there is the opening for the Baron if they want it, but they're not going to do it. They're going to go, recall, push this bottom wave out. That's why you see Rangjun recalling right now. Or actually, I think he might just walk his way down there. Either way, he wants to be able to push this one out. He has the teleport available to him now if something breaks out. And it's Mirage taking this one nice and slow. They only look for fights if the angles are good, and if not, they seem to be able to just back out away, no problem. And it's now GameWard forced to try and have some kind of answer here. So we do have a pause. And I think the thing that makes it hard is that we talk about Rakan as a support. Great engage, so mobile, so hard to pin down, squishy.
Yes.
So into their comp, with all the damage they have, where it's so clearly so difficult for him to exist. You miss a grand entrance, you saw what happened, he almost died.
It's right. It can cost you your life. I mean, that's why I feel like the best recon players that we see, they set up the flanks. They get behind enemy lines.
100%.
They do a really good job working around the vision, using the fog of war, and then you surprise them. Boom, flash charm into grand entrance, and you collapse. And that's how I think recons, make those big fights happen here. So we'll have to see if Chameleus might be able to do it. And I mean, just kind of diving more into Chameleus in specific, we kind of always touch on the fact that he doesn't have a big champion pool. He kind of always leans on this Leona as one of his go-to picks, right? So we'll see if, he can have that big impactful fight, set up his team. Meanwhile, though, Mirage, I mean, they have a great grip on this game at the moment. They're controlling all the tempo. They have the pressure, and they're dictating a lot of what's happening, and now they're really close to also, I think they have 3 dragons, right? So they're one off soul point at the moment, too.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, they haven't been trying to force the Baron or anything along those lines. It's just been about controlling vision, having Rangjun on the side wave. I think they're playing the map quite well, too, not trying to bite off more than they can chew at the moment. And it's great because they know what the big thing is. They know what position they want to put GameWard in, and it's in one where, okay, you're going to let us get Soul or you're going to let us get the Baron. What is the answer, GameWard?
Cloud Soul pockets here, really saving Raxo in that engagement. No grand entrance will connect. I don't think he would have been in any real trouble, but just to be sure, he's able to walk it out. Vision goes down on the Baron. Rangjun is keeping Melanik busy and vice versa, just kind of shoving waves back and forth into each other. But Rangjun having the teleport could look for a play that can be matched here. Just having the Realm Warp, I think, gives you that little bit of extra pressure. You don't have to invest the TP. You can just roam all the way up, use the ultimate, look for a flank. But mid lane, GameWard, they're making the play.
That's what you wanted.
That's the flash, and Cody's son is deleted. TP's now coming through, but it's a 4v5 here for Mirage. They're on the back foot. They have to run away. A good route is going to find decent value onto multiple targets. Now, Bad Lulu. He's got a flank. That's Melanik, who just invested his ultimate. Rangjun might be out of the fight. The zap doesn't connect. And Bad Lulu, I don't think, has an angle in.
No, he's going to have to back off. In fact, the Cloud Rift saving yet another soul, it looks like. But that's a great find there. That's exactly what you were highlighting. Chameleus, recon players in general, trying to find that angle, trying to surprise. Flash charm, grand entrance, and you set up the fight beautifully. We talked about gold leads and how strong Mirage were up until that moment. A lot of that was on Cody's son. You blow him up like that, he can't do any damage. Well, there you go. Inax is living pretty.
Living pretty, looking good. Bad Lulu just going to try to pick up some of this mid-wave. We did see a TP come through for Chekolad, trying to make sure that they remain pressure through this 50-yard line here, right through the middle of the map, because this Dragon is coming up in 10 seconds. They don't want the Cloud Soul to go over for free, so GameWard are going to posture. They're going to set up. But Mirage, they're also here, and they're behind enemy lines looking for Melanik.
Right now, still going to be Mirage, able to start this Dragon off immediately. Actually don't see anybody. Oh, they're going.
There it is, Cloud Soul. It is going to be secured for Mirage. They look for a re-engage, but the Moonlight Vigil does not hit the mark. GameWard could look to just kind of match the pathing here, but the Realm Warp should be able to bring over everyone to the mid lane, or at least enough to clear it out so they won't lose anything. It is only a gain here for Mirage, and a massive gain at that.
Right, GameWard, all they can do is take away some camps, try and see if they can set up some kind of bush play, because the Baron is what's going to get them into this one here. They might have one.
Raxo, a little low, has to flash. Mega Death Rocket just going to go wide, but GameWard able to get another summoner spell off of one of the Mirage members. They'll have complete control of this red quadrant, which will set them up really well for a lot of this Baron vision.
All right, Chameleus, he has the quickness available again. So you can tell GameWard, they're getting a little antsy. They want to try and make something happen here. And now, honestly, a play I would kind of like is if they go for the Baron. They actually just started. They have a lot of damage. You have Jinx. You have this Graves. One, you could burst it down if they don't show up in time. Or two, when they show up, you can actually go for the turn with Chameleus and his ultimate here. But instead, they are going to get spotted by the blue trinket. And they're actually going to stop. The thing is, they don't know if the Baron is being done right now. So they are going to have to check.
Have to move in. Bad Lulu's the one to do it. The charm is there. Grand entrance also there. But Bad Lulu's really tanky, soaking up a lot of the damage. Meanwhile, they'll find a pick down low. They do finally delete one of the top laners, but the second top laner might have made it out before Memento flashes with the Sonic Wave. Will follow up. And it is a 1-for-1 trade, but it's the Baron that could be on the table for Mirage.
Yeah, this one is going to be tough. It's going to be close. You still have the angle.
Oh, big scatter of the week, but Chekolad now a little bit in trouble. Double has to back himself away. The flash will get himself up, but Rangjun locks him down with the Rune Prison. And that also guarantees the kill. Another pick here for Mirage.
Oh man, they keep finding more and more. GameWard, every angle they take, it seems like for the most part they can't come out on top. But I think part of it is because you said it. They all in on the Camille. She's a lot of HP, a lot of potential to avoid damage, avoid key abilities with that Hextech ultimatum. Because of that, it gives Mirage its opening to go for the Baron. However, got a lot of damage here.
Mirage, they gotta be a little careful here. Inax is also ready to dish out the damage. Akabane is forced out, going in his momentum. He finds the kick. Jungler down for GameWard. Now they have to retreat. They're on the run. Mirage are looking for more. The Shirelias is going to get them enough movement speed to escape. But Mirage being 5, they can simply move back to the Purple Worm.
And this time, no one's going to be able to stop them. 30 seconds on GameWard's jungler. But even still, they have to try.
Camilius locked inside of the Hextech ultimatum. Bad Lulu just jumps right to Inax. Camilius might make it out, but Inax will not. 80 carry down. Mirage are just farming the side of GameWard right now as one by one they come, one by one they fall. The Mirage Elyandra finally secure the Baron Nashor.
And they're well on their way to their 6th win in the split, ending off spring with a bang against GameWard. Not interested in enabling any three-way tie scenarios here. And now, because of that, GameWard, they have to try something. 2,000 gold behind, and it feels like every play they go for can't quite work. But most of the time, you think about the people they're catching out. Bad Lulu. Yeah, you're right. Melanic's in trouble.
Memento fishing for the Q. That one.
Imagine.
Oh, it would have been an immediate in-sick. Camilius inside the pit. I think he might have grand entranced in, so he should be able to E himself. Oh, it is a TP.
Wait a minute.
And, well, we'll see if they can, in fact, fully get out. Memento can't follow that resonating strike, which means that they will be able to escape with the help of Shirelias. Rangjun invested the teleport, but won't be able to find anything here as it's a stack down low in the bot brush, but everything about to happen in the mid lane.
And you can't. I like it for Bad Lulu. He is not actually threatening the turret. He knows a lot of people are off the map. He knows a lot of people were just by that tier 2, so he's going to give his team plenty of time and pressure to take this mid tier 3 turret inhibitor about to be exposed. GameWard, nothing they can do about it. They're just going to have to wave clear as best they can. But right now, a fight against Mirage could be deadly.
Inhibitor exposed. Mirage looking to take it. Damage coming through here for Rangjun. Scatter for the weak, won't hit the mark. Raxo, nice side step back. That should be more than enough damage, and there it is. First inhibitor is down. Bad Lulu, he's been prepping the wave. He hasn't hard pushed it until now. Now his teammates can move down to him. They can move up top. They are just absolutely playing incredible macro play right now here in this League of Legends game. This is beautiful. You love to see it. And there's just no answers, no response so far here for GameWard.
That's right, and there it is. You can see it on two opposite ends of their base. Turrets are being broken. Their base is being broken open. And even though bottom inhib isn't taken, you still have supers that are starting to move through the mid lane here. And because of that, GameWard are going to risk everything to have to try and fight for this Elder Dragon because 40 seconds, strongest buff in the game. Mirage now looking to reset, use those empowered recalls so that they can spend some of that gold that they earned, get some key items like that Ravenous for Bad Lulu, the GA for Memento. If you think he was in there before, he's going in there now.
Yeah, so many defensive tools on the side of Mirage Elyandra right now. Stopwatches, Zanya's, Guardian Angel, you name it. And now you have to move in and face check here if you're GameWard. You know this is the one that you're going to have to try and contest. Luckily, they have got here just a little bit sooner than Mirage, but the Baron still being active at least for another couple seconds will give them more than enough to potentially break open yet another tier 3. And that will be matched by Melanic, but it's GameWard. They're going to start up the Elder Dragon. They're playing for the flip.
Right, Melanic has the TP. He can join. You see the Realm Warp used by Rangjun. Like you said, the flip is going.
Oh, that's going to be right into the backline. Memento looking
a lot of damage.
The kick.
The
Charm is going to lock him down here for a second, but Syndra finding the kill is going to allow GameWard to potentially still turn and win this fight. Akabane dealing the damage, looking for resets himself. He also has a GA as they take down yet another. Drake's back and forth. Melanic is low, but he still manages to find one.
Are you kidding me?
Doing it. Heartbreaker comes down. Memento needs to survive. He does have smite available, could still get inside the pit.
Now this one is tough. You got a lot of low HP bars. Melanic, no teleport means he has to commit. He has to stay, and they know this. Memento could save the game here and now for Mirage. If he can get the steal, Austin, he's full HP. You can't 50-50 against the Lee Sin.
Oh, here we go. Inside the pit.
Oh, he steals it.
Memento, the hero that we need. Mirage, they will secure the Elder Dragon.
They hold on to their lead. They hold on to the game. If GameWard got that, it would have been GG, well played. Nobody was alive to receive the buff on Mirage Elyandra, but Memento still saves the game.
Man, unbelievable. We see the start of this fight. Bad Lulu, he kicks it off. He has the hook shot, gets right into the backline right away.
And this is the thing now. We got a lot of damage coming through from GameWard, and they burst Bad Lulu. And this is the thing. We didn't see Akabane get to reset a lot, but remember, this is a Viego. You start giving him more stacks of that Heartbreaker. Things are starting to look really good as a team. And Melanic playing 1v2. Look at this guy managing to actually live long enough for this play to succeed.
So much damage. The Memento, boom, quick ward hop away. Akabane can't land that W. Heals himself up, slowly but surely, comes all the way around, and it's an early smite for Akabane. He has not really been able to land too many of the smites this game.
No.
The first dragon we go back to decides not to do it, or rather the second, and then here it's too early. Thinks he has the damage to fully execute it. Not the case. Memento gets there with 191 HP. And now the Elder being active, I don't think on too many members, if any,
no,
means that it was really just a takeaway here, at least against GameWard. But TPs are coming through.
Oh, Rungjun is in trouble.
A little bit of trouble. Has to get himself away. Realm Warp is available. Checolat coming for a long flank, but Mirage said, okay, that's fine. We're going to go right to your top
That's
inhibitor.
3 inhibs.
And Bad Lulu, he's on the bottom inhibitor, and they don't find Rangjun. He's actually looking for the fight. This has gone horribly wrong for GameWard. It's one thing after the other, but Rangjun is still isolated. He is still alone. He's just buying time for his teammates to potentially end the game or take the Nexus Towers. But he does ultimately drop. 55 seconds on the mid laner.
That's
Mirage, they're on the Nexus. They have the damage. They should be able to end this one as they'll end. Spring split on the right note, closing out the final game here in Week 9.